Valiant version 1, 152-watt carrier, about 600 watts in peaks, and let's see, build it with a Turner Plus 3 microphone, and receive it on the MC-120 Valiant, and I have a key multiplier, but I've got it bypassed right now. Everybody's coming in good. And that's going up to 4 watt meter. And that goes to the SA-2040 bootcut antenna tuner and then coax out to the infrared wireless 25 feet and corner wave counterpoise off the shield on the ground underneath the antenna. And now I'm smaller than the round table, but I will be listening through. So back to you, Jay. NY6L 86 WS.
Okay, very good, Ron. Also got a very good signal up here too as well. All right. Moving right along. Okay, how about Craig? N6NYX.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. NY6L. N6NYX here in La Mesa, California. Delta Mike 12 Lima Sierra. Let's see, AMI number 1761. And let's start with the voice here. Goes through an MC43S Kenwood hand mic to a Kenwood TS850 SAT. Then a Ten-Tech Centurion 422. That boosts at 250, 300 watts carrier, maybe 700 watts, 600 on the voice peaks. Through a Ten-Tech 238 tuner out antenna port number 4, which is direct to ladder line, about 30 feet up, 25 feet to the W Smelly loop that wanders around the yard, 272 foot full wave loop. So that's what's pushing it straight up, straight down to everybody. No on the for sailor one, and no on the round table. And just like Ron, I'll be lurking. NY6L in the group, N6NYX.
Okay, very good, Craig. Welcome aboard there. Yeah, very commanding signal up here too. Nice and strong. All right, next, that's Phil. N6WHK. Go ahead, pick it up, sir.
Well, thank you very much. NY6L, N6WHK. Well, I'm at 558 feet, so I don't have much elevation, and I'm not very low like Ron, according to my GPS unit. We're running the normal equipment tonight, Johnson Viking Ranger, Hammer Run HQ 110, L4B for about 200 watts maybe, Johnson Matchbox to keep everything under control, B104, mic not amplified. I'm watching the pattern on the 610 scope, which is looking really good. About 235 feet plus or minus wire. I'm not really sure how big the loop is, because it's been modified a dozen times or more. Been added to, subtracted from, one thing and another. Anyway, that's about it here. Listen to everybody on a nice Hammerlin speaker, which is sounding really good. So back to net control. NY6L, thank you for running the net. November 6th, Whiskey Hotel Kilo.
Anything to water sell, or anything, are you going to be around people, Phil? Over?
No, sir, I'm going to take my dog for a walk before it gets much darker, because I have an infestation of coyotes in the area, and I do not want to lose my little puppy. And 6WHK.
Okay, understood. Be careful out there, Phil. All right, next on the list is November Delta 7 Mike. Dennis, go ahead and pick it up.
Okay, thank you, Jay. NY6L, ND7M, Dennis in Pahrump. And yeah, everybody's sounding real nice tonight. Not hearing the East Coasters, the Center Coasters all that much. Looks like the band got quiet, or maybe they left the food back there with the chickens. It's hard to say. Anyway, tonight, yeah, we're running Electro Voice 767 microphone into a Johnson Viking 2, and the antenna is a full-wave loop up at about 30 feet or so, and the receiver is a Collins 51S1. And yeah, I do have one want for the evening here. I'm in the process of rebuilding a Collins 51J4 receiver, and I'm looking just for the cover for the crystal filter box. Apparently somewhere over the ages it went astray, and it hasn't come home. So anyway, looking for the cover for the crystal filter box for a 51J4. So anyway, Jay, I think that's
You'll be working.
up here. We had a real nice day. And, you know, just send it back to you, and I won't be around for the round table later on. So anyway, thanks for doing the net, and back to you. NY6L ND7M.
All right, Dennis, very good. All right, so if anybody has Collins equipment there, I'm sure you get a hold of Dennis if you have something like that floating around. Okay, next upon K6ZT to pick it up, and I'll put the floor there to start there. Take it away, man.
Okay, thanks, Jay. Yeah, it was nice to see you there. K6XCA here. Woman Hills, Van was born, Victor Oscar November. AMI number is 1757. And tonight we're using the usual. We're using number 4 driving, into a Viking 2. And we're coming out of the Viking 2 to a 2060. Antenna tuner and up to an inverted V hanging from a 55-foot tower. And let's see, and the receiver is an SX96. So, yeah, well, today the weather was like really marvelous today here in the valley in Woodland Hills. In fact, it was kind of warm, but it's fairly dry, so that's a good thing. In other words, there's not a lot of humidity. And anyway, we're getting ready for Halloween. We've got candy. Spend an arm and a leg, cost an arm and a leg for the candy. But it's fun. And about the boats. Yeah, somebody was talking about a boat. Let's see, what was that? It was talking about, I know. I think it was Kevin. Was talking about a boat. I like boats, especially when they're owned by someone else. And then I get invited to ride in the boat. And let's see, absorption modulation. Absorption modulation sounds like you can't get. Sounds like something you cannot get. Well, let's see. Let me think. It's going to generate AM, and it has a carrier, and it sounds like attenuation modulation. That's what that sounds like. And so you're just taking away signal and giving it back, but taking it away and giving it back, but not adding to it. So it sounds like it isn't quite the same as AM with a modulation transformer. I don't know, that may be out to lunch. That may be the wrong analysis of it. Anyway, sounds interesting. And so with that, I'll say no on the round table, no on the swap. And thanks a lot, guys, for this evening. And we'll look for you, most of us here on Wednesday night, maybe even tomorrow night on Sideband. Okay, NY6L, Q6LTA.
Okay, very good there, Vaughn. Good signal up here too as well. All right, this is NY6L, net control for the West Coast AMI Nut. Is there anybody else wants to join us? Please come now. Quiet as a mouse out there. All right, Skip, you're next. K6LGL, NY6L Hesperia. All right, Skip. Well, thank you for the good wishes there. And are you going to join us over at the round table? Okay, very good, Skip. All right. Okay, moving right along. Over to Kevin and Gilroy at W6JPN. Your turn there, Kevin. Pick it up.
Yeah, okay, Jay, thank you very much. This is W6JPN, Billy Gilroy. And as most know, Gilroy is also known as the garlic capital of the world, 75 miles south of San Francisco. Well, anyway, today I was gathering up parts. It didn't take much to build the absorption modulation transmitter for AM. And I had to order some parts. They should be in, I think, in a couple of days. Once I get that, I should have something on the air and working, hopefully by next weekend. So that's the plan anyway. I got other projects that I'm working on too, which are not as exciting as absorption modulation, because that's been a long-term goal of mine ever since I was in college. And Vaughn, I think you nailed it. It's more of an attenuation modulation. Is probably the best way to describe it. And so it's not like a transformer where you can have positive peaks and all that kind of stuff, where it's above 100%. I don't think that's possible. Yep, but I'll know. I will look at it with the instrumentation to see what's actually going on. I think if you have a 100-watt carrier, you're going to absorb 50% of that carrier for modulation. So you're never really going to get 4 times with pretty
modulation. So I think you nailed it there, Hans. So I kind of remember that. That was many years ago. All right, let's see what else. I wanted to tell you about the upper bands. I always like to do this because if you're not tracking them, this stuff will occur and disappear as fast as it arrived, and that is propagation on 10 meters has been fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'll give you an example. I worked on 29.6, that's the FM calling frequency, simplex. I was working and I talked to a guy for a long time in Switzerland and just really enjoyed the conversation with him. His mother lives in Scotts Valley, or at least she did before she passed away. But he used to visit Scotts Valley all the time, and he's familiar with the garlic and the Garlic Festival, and he's been down here to Gilroy and stuff like that. So we had a lot to talk about, and just a great conversation. FM simplex with Switzerland. So that gives you an idea of what's available. And then I talked to Japan, simplex FM with Japan, and there's of course there's stations all over the U.S. too. Let's see what else. Talked to Russia on the 10 meters. Nice big 30 over S9 signal. I thought they were only limited to 500 watts, but it seems like every time we talk to a Russian station, they're 35, 40 over. All right. Also on 12 meters, big signal from Malcolm from England, and talked to him for about 40 minutes. I mean, this guy had a lot to talk about, and very knowledgeable, and I really enjoyed that conversation with Malcolm on 12 meters. 12 meters is somewhat of a gentleman's band. What I mean by that is what I like about it, it's a rag chew band. So if you're into contesting and all that kind of stuff is really frowned upon, so you're not going to get any AMI certificates on 12 meters. Anyway, that's the story there. Let's see, what else? That was just the illustration of what's available right now while the bands are really active. I mean, I've been meaning to say that earlier in the week, but I keep forgetting, but I wrote it down this time. So there you go. No swaps, no wants. All signals tonight are just nice and strong. It's quiet. The noise level here is very quiet. And that's the way I like it here on 75 meters. Nice and quiet. All right, back to you, Jay, and thank you for running the net. You're doing a bang-up job there, and glad that you're doing it. We need more net control operators. NY6L and the group. And thank you to Ron for doing the earlies. This is WA6JKN, and yes, John has a set signal tonight.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead, Vaughn.
Yeah, Kevin, what were the times, roughly the times that you had those openings on 10 meters?
Okay, now this is, let's see here, my electronic logbook, hold on a second here. I'm thinking GTC. So for Switzerland, that was at 17:02 hours. France was at 16:52. That was on 10 meters. Both those were 10-meter contacts. The Russia station on 10 meters on single sideband, that was at 16:38 hours, and England on 12 meters was 16:28 hours. So it was one FM, an AM, and two sidebands, and so there you go. Does that help you out?
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I see I'm hitting it too late. I got to hit it earlier, Pacific time. So, okay, back over to you, Jay. Thank you. Bye. K6ZTA.
Okay, boys and gentlemen. Yes, 10 meters just been incredible. I ordered a 10 meter antenna so I could get on the bandwagon. Yeah, I want something resonant here, a little bit of gain, so that's on its way. All right, George, you're next for the 6YEC, NY6L for the West Coast A-Liner.
Okay, Jay, thanks a lot. NY6L, W6YEC. Remote control design. Running 25 watts with the Acme 7300. We're here in the house because we were watching the Chargers play Cowboys. Shack tonight. Anyway, I got at the moment with a minute to go in the third quarter. And for anybody who would be even remotely interested. Very good on all the discussion. Kevin has done dinner. Wait to see what I'm starting to think of modulation and bounce on when we get the project done. Anyway, Vaughn blew my ears off. I got my headphones on. When you came back, I was announcing 40 over 9. 40 over 9. Right? And everybody was good company tonight.
Okay, George, wow, 25 watts in your full wave loop is doing the job. Times your solid S9 times 10 over. So it's working out for you quite nicely. That's great. On the sideline, speaking of 25 watts, I should probably, if the conditions are good, maybe next week I should hook up my QRP AM transceiver that I built It's about 3 to 4 watts carrier and modulates up to about 12 or so watts. And it's, Class A transmitter, Class A David transmitter. The Class E is an Edward modulator. So that would be interesting to give that a try from up here. All right. Before I call John, is there anybody else that wants to join the West Coast AMI net? Come now, please. Okay, NA7RH. Anybody else? Okay, don't hear anybody else. All right, John with the big signal. AI6LY to pick it up. NY6L. NY6L in the Monday night group, AI6LY. John in Scotts Valley. And pretty good copy on everybody tonight. Everybody except George. His 25 watts isn't quite making it up the coast here, but I caught about a third of what he said. So good to hear him and everybody else. Conditions are good, so can't complain. Yes, I'm running a little more power tonight because last week conditions weren't so good. And a lot of people couldn't hear me, and I did figure out a way to get the amp operating with this rig. So running the 32V2 with an amp behind it tonight, about 250 watts carrier. So dialed it in real nicely here. And the 75A1 on the receive side. The mic's a D104. And the antenna's a inverter V hanging from the tower at about 40 feet at the apex. Yeah, Vaughn and Kevin, absorption modulation. It's a very typical technique to use in fiber optic communications. You may know that. They use essentially CW lasers, and then they absorption modulate them and get very high frequencies out of that. That's a typical installation for computer data centers and long-haul transmission and stuff like that. So, all in good fun, that stuff. Good luck with that, Kevin. Let's see, what else can I tell you? You know, I'm thinking of operating briefly in AM mode when I'm down on the Queen Mary, Saturday after next. So the 28th, from 9 to 11 a.m. at some point, probably right at 10 o'clock when the broadcast band shut down, I'm going to switch to AM mode. So if anybody happens to be by the radio, look for me. I'll be on 20 meters. Unless band is good on 10, I may switch to 10 for a bit. And yes, 10 meters AM has been great. Over the weekend, I made a bunch of contacts on 10 AM, so that was great fun. Anyway, AMI number 1773. No swap, no roundtable. Jay, thanks for doing the net. NY6L in the group. AI6LY. Good evening. Okay, John, very good. Good signal. Yeah, have to tune you in. Yeah, speaking of 10 meters, last week on 29.01 AM, I heard faintly, I heard it on AM. So don't be surprised and don't underestimate 10 meters AM. Yeah, there's a lot of activity on sideband, and there's a lot of people hanging around 10 meters FM. But 10 meters AM, it's going to be very interesting later on. Give that a shot too. I have the classic Lafayette HA410, which is AM transceiver, circa about 1966 thereabouts. And I got that restored and recapped in about 22 watts of carrier. So that I'll give it a try. All right. NA7RH to pick it up. NY6L.
audio out of my computer. Anyway, excuse me, this is Bob, and in the Phoenix area with the 65 Super Special, an 8246 modulated by 4 1625s and parallel push clip. The basic rig is out of the Reno Blower Hamlet, 1961 through 64, including the modulator, 50 watt modulator with 460 in those years. So anyway, but it's got a few modifications. High level negative peak limiting, a few other little things. An SB610 deep cuts scope here, and it's got some very good positive peaks on the left-hand side. So anyway, I might have about 50 nothing to start. The only thing of note that Kevin was and others were talking about all of the good conditions we're seeing on the higher bands, and there are a lot of expeditions out there running around to various swing zones and just out of the Cunha and what was the other one? Bayard or Bayard, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but that's NASCAR on the Indian Ocean. So, and worked them over the weekend on two times, which is pretty amazing. So we've got some
Hey Bob, you gonna try to join us for roundtable?
Thank you very much.
Okay, the last transmission here, but picked up an S9, very good, good quality of audio. All right, one last call. See if anybody wants to join the West Coast AMI net. Come now, please.
A comment in 6WHK.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Today, on 2900, AM was coming in pretty good. One station ain't worked. The other one I never got a hold of. But it was coming in today on 2900.
Wow, that sounds pretty neat. Can't wait to get my antenna. By the way, Phil, just real quick before I close that, I ordered from HRO a 5/8 wave Hustler 10-meter antenna. To temporarily put in place of my own HF vertical, which I gave up the ghost. And I have an unbuilt R8, which is going to require some, for me to get put together and of course erected. It weighs 25 pounds and it's about 25 feet tall. So, but anyway, yeah, that's going to be fun. All right, let's see here. Anybody else? One last call for West Coast AMI net, NY6L, net control. Okay, here I'm at, and nobody really on the round table, so I'm going to say I'm on 7-3, and I'm going to go back and finish my salad. And yeah, it's pretty good here for about 40 minutes or so. And 7-3 to all, and have a great night, and be safe out there. NY6L, closing the West Coast AMI net. 7-3, good night to all. NY6L,